Columbus is known as an Army town, but did you know that it was once a thriving naval community? Just outside the gates of Fort Benning is an important part of that history, and it's in danger of being lost forever. Kenia Mills has the story.
It's June 3rd, 1864. A clan of armed Confederate sailors raid the USS Water Witch, killing and slaying until they capture the Union ship. The commando-style raid ended within 15 minutes.
The story is absolutely unique. No one is telling quite the story we're telling.
And we fired our guns until the gun ports were in the water, until we were aflame and the blood ran down the decks.
Ken Johnston is both a historian and reenactor. It's 1865 and he's Union Naval Officer Captain Pendergrast, commander of the USS Water Witch.
To prevent further effusion of blood on our men, surrender the ship.
Johnston is one of the folks at the National Civil War Naval Museum in Columbus that breathed new life into the stories of the sailors that served during the Civil War.
Everything we do on something that is documented, something that we know people felt, but then you take it and you interpret it. That's what we do here. We interpret, we tell the story and bring it to the public.
The National Civil War Naval Museum is the only museum to tell the complete story of the Confederate and Union navies. The highlight of the museum is a 200-foot Confederate ironclad recovered from the Chattahoochee River in the 1960s, which once upon a time looked something more like this model next to it.
One of the only surviving Confederate ironclads that was built right here in Columbus. Most people didn't even realize there was a naval presence here during the Civil War, but there was a naval yard, and Columbus was a thriving industrial city then.
Every square foot of the museum tells the story of naval life during the Civil War. Leanne Sayers, a mother of two, visits the museum regularly with her family.
This is a place that it's part of Columbus. A lot of this was founded here. You know, we don't want to lose the history behind this and to have it moved somewhere else because this is its home.
And the museum is close to losing its home as it faces steep budget cuts that are being negotiated at the city council level. The latest update was a victory proposal on the side of the museum, a decision that's still to be voted on in July.
With the proposal that's in now, we've got a lot of work to do. We'll have to do some fundraising to offset that, but that definitely buys us some time in working with the city, developing a strategic plan to try to become less dependent on that city budget.
The crew of the Water Witch.
For staff members and volunteers, it's about preserving a history unique to Columbus that no bottom dollar budget can deny.
This is an incalculable asset for the city of Columbus. This is a museum that interprets Columbus's own naval history. This is a museum that shows Columbus's connection with the greater conflict that just racked this nation.
Whose name and blood will I be written in history?
In essence, these audience members are saving the museum just by attending.
That shows your support because you're here. And let me tell you, once you're here, you will be hooked on the stories. They're amazing.
If you're not a sailor, you cannot possibly know what that means. Your ship is your life.
Kenia Mills, Fort Benning TV.
If you are interested in helping to preserve this amazing museum, visit portcolumbus.org for more information.